I think that it's probably one of the best products that has come out of the whole initiative because it documents our history.
I also think it's good publicity-wise to really show our legislators, to show our larger community the inequalities that exist.
Working on the Strong Starts project, I learned a lot about early child development, how important it is for a child during the first 3 years of life for them to be nurtured correctly and to get everything they really need, because it really paves the path for the rest of their life, into their teenage years, into their adult life.
Something that I learned while working on these videos is how important resources are to children. Resources like going to the zoo, going to the aquarium, going to the botanical garden, going to explore where they can interact with other kids and have hands-on activities. Because it's one thing to like read it in a book and to do it at home, but it's also another thing to actually have that interaction with other people and in a different environment than what is the norm.
Why I think that it is important and why we decided to participate is because it gave us an opportunity to have young people really learn about the importance of early childhood development in New Mexico, and it helped Generation Justice to really step out in working with a lot of different groups in a sector of the community that we had not worked with before to help tell their story.
I know that, for example, Pajarito Mesa and Youth Development Inc. have used the video at various county commission meetings when they were requesting a building to be put in Pajarito Mesa as a community center, which they now have.
We've actually used it in a way that talks about when communities grow, it has to come from the residents. And so there's many, many ways to use the video.
When I first seen, the finished product, the finished video, I was so amazed, how we were able to capture every moment that we had throughout this process. We actually got NAPR's, name out there, the whole overview of NAPR and, the services that they do provide.
Going through this process as a mother, I was able to relate to a lot of what people were saying and the need for early childhood development. Because as a mother, I want my son to have everything and have the best resources available to him.
It really was the most well-organized group of youth I've seen. It is inspirational for me because utilizing what they have done and finding what makes them special is going to be what makes me different later, because I just want to create such a space like that.
And especially being a Native American person in this country and in this state, it's a huge issue for us, dealing with our children learning our tribal languages and getting the knowledge of our culture and of our traditions and of our people. It's really important to us.
I also know that Family Development used the video in a meeting that they had with Mayor Barry here in Albuquerque, and he was struck by a suggestion that one of the young mothers had made about having family days at public institutions, and it sort of hit him that was something that could be accomplished fairly easily, so I know that they used the video in that way.
Yes, it does document what people have said, what they're feeling, what they want to do, and it puts things in context for us. But I also think it helps other people know that there is something that people can do. It doesn't matter what your community is, that you can take community action.
I'm just really proud of being able to know that we were a real and active part of this initiative, and to be able to hear some of the principal folks talk about the videos and talk about it the video that we produced for them with that level of appreciation and respect for our work is, for me, kind of the proof of the importance of what we contributed to this initiative.
I'm really proud of the youth production team and seeing how each one of them sort of grew in their own way. And not just technically, I mean, a lot of us had technical skills coming in, and those were definitely enhanced, myself included, but more sort of like an individual, I don't know if you want to call it spiritual level or something like that. We all learned something that made us better people, something that we're going to carry with us for the rest of our lives.
What I feel most proud of is that I'm young. I'm not an official adult yet, but I'm starting to get involved in many things that many people wouldn't really realize that it's important to us, and that I'm starting to learn at a young age things that I want to change for our next generation.
My name is Area Cardiel. I'm 20 and a student at UNM. And this is our recording.